Your mango tree is lying to you. It looks like it is blooming. It looks like it is ready to give you fruit. But those little flowers are not real. They are a sickness. If you leave them there, your tree will stop growing. It will get weak, and you will get 0 mangoes this year. Most people see those weird clumps and think it is just bad luck. They wait for the weather to change. They hope it goes away. But it does not go away on its own. It gets worse. I am going to show you exactly why this happens and how to fix it for good. Before we start, if you want to save your trees and grow real food for your family, hit that subscribe button. We are keeping this knowledge alive for the next generation. I have seen this happen to hundreds of growers. I had a neighbor who lost 3 young mango trees in one season. He thought he was doing everything right. He watered them. He gave them sun. But every time the tree tried to bloom, it turned into a dry, brown mess. The branches got twisted. The leaves stayed small. The tree looked stunted. It was sad to watch. But then we changed one thing. We stopped treating the symptoms and started treating the cause. Within 6 months, those same trees were pushing out healthy green growth. Last year, that neighbor harvested over 200 pounds of sweet mangoes from those same trees. It is not magic. It is just knowing what the tree is telling you. You can do this too. It does not matter if you are in Florida, California, Texas, or growing in a pot in your backyard. The rules are the same. Let's talk about what you are seeing. You walk out to your garden. You are excited because it is spring. You see little buds forming on the tips of your branches. You think, here comes the fruit. But when you look closer, something is wrong. The buds are not normal. They are bunched up tight. They look like a cauliflower or a bunch of grapes that never opened. They are thick and hard. They do not look like delicate flowers. They look strange. Maybe they are green and leafy instead of pink and flowery. Maybe they are long and stick-like with no flowers at all. You touch them and they feel dry. You wait a few weeks hoping they will open up, but they just turn brown and fall off. Or they stay there, dead and dry, clogging up your tree. You feel frustrated. You wonder if you bought a bad tree. You wonder if the soil is wrong. You might even think about cutting the whole tree down. This is called mango malformation. It is one of the most common reasons why home growers fail to get fruit, and it is not your fault. No one tells you about it until it is too late. Here is the simple truth. Your mango tree is confused. It is trying to do 2 things at once, and it is failing at both. A healthy mango tree has a clear job. In the winter, it rests. In the spring, it uses that stored energy to make flowers. Those flowers turn into fruit. That is the cycle. But when malformation happens, the tree gets mixed up. Instead of making nice, open flowers, it makes a mess of leaves and stems all tangled together. Why does this happen? Most people think it is just a fungus. And yes, a tiny mite or a fungus can be part of the problem. But that is not the whole story. The real reason is stress. Your tree is stressed out. When a plant is stressed, it panics. It tries to protect itself. It stops trying to make fruit because fruit takes a lot of energy. Instead, it goes into survival mode. It creates these weird tight clusters because it is afraid to open up. It is like a person who is so scared they freeze up. The tree is freezing up. It is holding its breath. These clusters are full of hormones that tell the tree to stay small and stay safe. They block the normal growth. If you do not stop this, the tree thinks it is always in danger. It will never relax enough to give you a good harvest. So how do we fix it? We have to calm the tree down. We have to remove the panic. And we have to give it the right tools to grow properly again. Here is the step-by-step plan. You can do this with any mango tree. It works for young trees and old trees. It works for grafted trees and seedling trees. Step 1 is the hardest part, but it is the most important. You must cut off the bad parts. I know, it hurts to cut your tree. You want to save every branch. But these malformed clusters are poison to the rest of the tree. They are stealing energy. They are sending bad signals. You need to be brave. Take your pruning shears. Make sure they are clean. Wipe them with alcohol if you can. Look for those tight, cauliflower-like bunches. Look for the long, stick-like shoots that have no real flowers. Do not leave any of them. Cut them off completely. Do not just trim the tip. Cut the whole cluster back to where it meets the main branch. You want to remove the source of the problem. If you leave even a little bit of the bad tissue, it can grow back worse. Think of it like pulling a weed. If you leave the root, it comes back. Cut it all off. Dispose of these cuttings far away from your garden. Do not compost them, burn them, or throw them in the trash. You do not want those bad hormones or any bugs hiding in them to come back to your tree. This step alone can save your season. Most people are too afraid to cut enough. They trim a little bit and hope for the best. Do not do that. Be thorough. Step 2 is to feed the tree the right food. After you have cleaned up the tree, it is going to be shocked. It has lost some branches, it needs help to recover, but do not just dump any fertilizer on it. This is where many people make a mistake. They use high nitrogen fertilizer. Nitrogen makes leaves grow fast, but right now, you do not want fast, weak leaf growth. You want strong, healthy recovery. You want to balance the tree. Use a balanced fertilizer. Look for numbers like October 10th, 10 or 888 on the bag. This means equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Phosphorus helps with roots and flowers. Potassium helps with overall health and disease resistance. Apply this fertilizer according to the instructions on the bag. Do not overdo it. Too much food can burn the roots. Just give it a steady, gentle meal. Water it in well. This tells the tree that it is safe now. The danger is gone. It can start to breathe again. Step 3 is to check for the tiny bugs. Remember, I said stress is the main cause, but bugs can make it worse. There is a tiny pest called the mango bud mite. You cannot see it with your naked eye. It is smaller than a dot. It lives inside those flower buds. It feeds on the sap. It causes the buds to twist and turn into those malformed shapes. Even if you cut off the bad parts, these mites might still be on the tree. You need to spray the tree to keep them away. You do not need harsh chemicals. You can use neem oil. Neem oil is natural. It comes from a tree. It confuses the bugs and stops them from eating. Mix the neem oil with water and a little bit of soap. Spray the whole tree. Make sure you get under the leaves. Get into the cracks of the branches. Do this once a week for 3 weeks. This breaks the cycle of the bugs. If you skip this step, the mites might come back and start the problem all over again. It is a small effort for a big reward. Step 4 is to improve the airflow. Mango trees love air. They hate being stuffy. If your tree is too dense, if the branches are all tangled together, humidity builds up. Humidity is a friend to fungus and bugs. It creates a perfect home for the problems that cause malformation. You need to open up the center of your tree. Look at your tree from the side. Is it a solid ball of leaves? Can you see through it? If not, it is too thick. Prune out some of the inner branches. Remove branches that are crossing each other. Remove branches that are growing straight down. You want the sun and wind to reach the middle of the tree. This dries out the leaves after rain. It makes it hard for bugs to hide. It keeps the tree healthy. This is not just about malformation. This helps with all kinds of tree diseases. A tree that can breathe is a tree that can produce. Step 5 is to manage the water. Water stress is a huge trigger for malformation. If your tree gets too dry, it panics. If it gets too wet, the roots rot, and it panics. You need to find the middle ground. Check your soil. Stick your finger in the dirt about 2 inches deep. If it is bone dry, water it. If it is soggy, let it dry out. Do not water on a schedule. Water based on what the soil needs. In the hot summer, you might water twice a week. In the cool spring, you might only water once every 10 days. Consistency is key. Sudden changes in water make the tree stressed. Try to keep the moisture level steady. If you live in a very dry area, put mulch around the base of the tree. Mulch is just wood chips or straw. It keeps the water in the soil. It keeps the roots cool. This simple layer of mulch can prevent a lot of stress. Now, let's talk about the mistakes people make. Knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. The first big mistake is ignoring the problem. Many growers see the weird clusters and think, maybe it will fix itself. Maybe it is just a weird year. They wait. They watch. By the time they act, the tree is covered in these bad growths. The tree has used up all its energy making junk. It is too weak to make new, healthy growth. Do not wait. As soon as you see it, cut it. Early action saves the tree. The second mistake is using the wrong fertilizer. I mentioned this before, but it is worth repeating. People see their tree looking sick, and they think it is hungry. They give it a huge dose of nitrogen. Nitrogen makes green leaves. But if you give too much nitrogen, the tree grows soft, watery tissue. This soft tissue is easy for bugs to eat. It is easy for fungus to attack. It also delays flowering. The tree keeps making leaves instead of flowers. You end up with a big, bushy tree with no fruit. Always use a balanced fertilizer. Or, if you are close to flowering time, use a fertilizer with more phosphorus. Read the label. Know what you are giving your tree. The third mistake is poor sanitation. When you cut off the malformed parts, where do they go? Some people leave them on the ground under the tree. This is a bad idea. The mites and fungi are still alive in those cuttings. They can crawl back up the tree. They can spread to other trees. Always remove the waste. Bag it up. Throw it away. Keep your garden clean. A clean garden is a healthy garden. It sounds simple, but it is the #1 way to stop diseases from spreading. The fourth mistake is overcrowding. If you have multiple mango trees, do not plant them too close together. They need space. If they are touching, they share pests. They block each other's sun. They compete for water. Give each tree enough room to grow into its full size. If you are growing in pots, make sure the pots are not touching. Air needs to move between them. Here is a bonus tip. This is something the old-timers know, but the books often miss. It is about timing. Mango malformation is worst when the tree is under cold stress. If you live in an area where it gets chilly at night, protect your tree during the budding stage. If a cold snap is coming, cover your tree with a blanket or a sheet. Do not use plastic. Plastic can trap too much heat or freeze the leaves if it touches them. Use fabric. This keeps the temperature steady. It prevents the shock that triggers the malformation. Also, consider using a seaweed extract spray. Seaweed extract is full of natural hormones that help plants handle stress. It is like a vitamin shot for your tree. Spray it on the leaves once a month during the growing season. It makes the tree stronger. It helps it resist the mites and the fungus. It is a small cost for a big benefit. Many commercial growers use this, but home growers often forget it. It is a secret weapon for healthy trees. Another pro tip is to choose the right variety. Some mango types are more prone to malformation than others. If you are starting from scratch, ask your local nursery which varieties do well in your area. Some Indian varieties are very sensitive. Some Florida varieties are tougher. If you have had trouble with malformation before, try a different type of mango. It might solve the problem without any extra work. Knowledge is power. Know your tree. Let's wrap this up. Mango malformation is scary, but it is not fatal. It is just a sign that your tree is stressed. It is crying out for help. By cutting off the bad growth, feeding it balanced food, controlling the tiny mites and giving it good air and water, you can fix it. You can turn a sick tree into a productive one. It takes patience. It takes care. But the reward is sweet. Imagine biting into a juicy homegrown mango. Imagine sharing that fruit with your kids. Imagine knowing that you grew it with your own hands, using wisdom and care. That is worth the effort. Do not let frustration win. Do not give up on your tree. It wants to give you fruit. It just needs you to guide it. Start today. Go out to your garden. Look closely at your branches. If you see those tight, weird clusters, take your shears, cut them off, clean up the mess, feed the tree, spray the neem oil. You will see a difference. The new growth will be green and strong, the flowers will open up, and soon you will have mangoes. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other growers find this information. And subscribe to the channel. We are building a community of people who care about real food and traditional methods. We share tips that save money and save trees. Join us. Leave a comment below. Tell me where you are growing. Are you in Florida, California? Or maybe you are growing in a greenhouse in the north? Let me know your state and your county. I read every comment. I want to know what is working for you and what is not. Your stories help us all learn. Next week, I am going to show you how to graft a mango tree using a method that has a 90% success rate. It is simple, and you can do it with tools you already have in your kitchen. You do not need expensive equipment. You just need to know the trick, so make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Thank you for watching. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, in a garden run with care, there is no such thing as failure. Only lessons. See you in the next one.